9 months. That's how long the basketball world had to wait. And when Caitlin Clark finally stepped out of that tunnel at the Barclays Center, you didn't need to be there to feel it. The electricity was immediate. Every single person watching understood this wasn't just a preseason game. This was a statement, because waiting on the other side was Breanna Stewart, and nothing between these two has ever been simple. To understand why this game mattered, you have to rewind. In 2025, Stewart went hard at Clark near the basket, sending her crashing into the stanchion in a collision that went viral. Some called it dirty, others called it regular physicality. Depending on who you asked, you got a completely different answer. From that point on, every time these two shared the floor, the energy shifted. It became personal, not the trash talk kind. The silent, "I remember what you did" kind. Clark's 2025 wasn't cut short by one injury. It was a cascade: right groin sprain, left quad issues, left ankle bone bruise, all piling up one after another. She missed the All-Star game in Indianapolis and the rest of the season. And still, in just 13 games, she averaged 16.5 points, 5 rebounds, and 8.8 assists. She made the All-Star team for the second straight year. 13 games. That tells you everything about who Caitlin Clark is. Her first real action back came in Puerto Rico during FIBA World Cup qualifiers, where she split defenders with a bounce pass and buried a deep three before the first quarter ended. She declared herself fully healthy heading into 2026. The hunger was obvious. This wasn't the same Fever roster. Kelsey Mitchell signed a $1.4 million supermax to stay, the largest deal in franchise history. Monique Billings was brought in for interior toughness. Aaliyah Boston was retained long-term. Cunningham returned with her sharpshooting. And then came the draft pick everyone was talking about. Raven Johnson, the 10th overall pick, had history with Clark. She was part of the South Carolina team that faced Iowa twice in the Final Four and famously waved Clark off after the title game. Now they share a backcourt. In her debut, Johnson posted 6 points, 8 assists, 2 blocks, 0 turnovers, and a plus 14 in 18 minutes. Indiana's depth suddenly looked like a serious weapon. From the opening tip, Clark had something to prove. She drove the baseline, kissed a floater off the glass, and the 9-month wait was over. Then she pulled up from 29 feet, stepped back with 0 hesitation, and buried it. 8-0 Indiana before New York found their footing. She threaded passes, knocked down free throws, and commanded the floor. Indiana led 32-24 after the first, but Stewart flipped a switch in the second quarter. Finger roll, pull-up 3. Another finger roll, another 3. 14 straight points in about 3 minutes. The Liberty erased the lead and took control. The Fever looked stunned. Then Kelsey Mitchell answered with a personal 10-point run. Step-back threes, driving layups, pure aggression. Clark came back in, found Mitchell cutting, and Mitchell buried a 3 to give Indiana a 53-48 halftime lead. They survived Stewart's eruption. From the opening tip, Clark had something to prove. She drove the baseline, kissed a floater off the glass, and the 9-month wait was over. Then she pulled up from 29 feet, stepped back with 0 hesitation, and buried it. 8-0 Indiana before New York found their footing. She threaded passes, knocked down free throws, and commanded the floor. Indiana led 32-24 after the first, but Stewart flipped a switch in the second quarter. Finger roll, pull-up 3. Another finger roll, another 3. 14 straight points in about 3 minutes. The Liberty erased the lead and took control. The Fever looked stunned. Then Kelsey Mitchell answered with a personal 10-point run. Step-back threes, driving layups, pure aggression. Clark came back in, found Mitchell cutting, and Mitchell buried a 3 to give Indiana a 53-48 halftime lead. They survived Stewart's eruption. Indiana came out of the locker room like a different animal. Mitchell picked up where she left off. Walker Kimbrough imposed her will off the bench. The lead swelled to 11, then 17, then 23. Johnson was everywhere with 8 assists, making the right read every time. The fourth quarter wasn't a contest. Final score: Indiana 109, New York 91. Mitchell and Walker-Kimbrough led with 18 each. Cunningham added 13. Clark played 17 first-half minutes and finished with 7 points on 2 of 10 shooting, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. The numbers weren't pretty, but the movement was right, the confidence was there, and the moment she took over reminded everyone what she is when healthy. When the season opened against Dallas, Clark put up 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists in a tight 107-104 loss. But she left the game in the third quarter and came back with a wrap around her back. She later admitted the mental hurdle of trusting her body was real, but said coming back in and playing through it actually gave her confidence. Then came the Portland stretch. Clark was pulled less than 2 hours before tip due to back stiffness, catching the league off guard. The WNBA issued a warning to the Fever. Through her games, she's averaging 18.7 points, 4.7 rebounds, and 8.2 assists, shooting 37.7%. The efficiency isn't vintage Clark yet, but the impact is undeniable. The Liberty got their revenge, storming back from 12 down to win 83-75. Stewart poured in 30 points and 8 rebounds. Clark had 10 points, 7 boards, and 9 assists, but the real firestorm came off the court. Stewart argued with a Liberty coach during the game, and fans immediately compared it to Clark's sideline spat with Stephanie White days earlier. When Clark did it, she was called a diva and uncoachable. Stewart's exchange barely made a ripple. The double standard was glaring and fans weren't letting it slide. Clark, for her part, took accountability for her 5 fouls, calling a couple of them dumb and putting it on herself. No deflection, no excuses. Every one of Indiana's 44 games is nationally televised this season, a first for any WNBA team. The Fever lead the league in road attendance at over 16,500 per game. That's the Clark effect in year 3. After reaching the semifinals without her in 2025, Indiana has legitimate championship aspirations now. The rivalry with Stewart is just getting started. Every shared floor shifts the energy. The stars of this league have been coming for Clark since day one. The physicality, the hard fouls, the constant spotlight, and she keeps answering. The shooting will sharpen, the rhythm will come, and when it does, the league is going to have a serious problem. Neither Clark nor Stewart is backing down. Neither is giving an inch. And that's exactly what makes this the most compelling rivalry in women's basketball today. This season is only going to get louder.
Before going further, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. It really helps us keep bringing you the content you love. Share this video with your friends so they don't miss out on all the drama and excitement.